Welcome to the Simple Doesn't Mean Easy podcast. We are here every week working at simplifying things in our lives one day at a time, one simple step at a time. I'm your host, Michelle Visser, and today we're going to talk about simplifying the holidays. I know it's not quite yet Thanksgiving, but if we don't think about this now, well, before we know it, it's going to be too late to simplify, if you know what I mean. Before we know it, the holidays will be here. And we need to think now about simple ways that we can keep the holidays more meaningful. So that's what today's episode is all about. And if you take a quick second to leave a review wherever you listen to this, I would greatly appreciate it. Before we get started today, I have a quick question. Does coffee sometimes cause headaches for you? Do you avoid drinking too much coffee because you know it's bad for your gut health? You know it's really bad for your dental health? I have some fantastic news for you, all of you coffee lovers out there. I have found a coffee that is truly the best I have ever seen or heard of, and it's absolutely delicious. It's called Java Planet and it's organic. It is certified mold free, which is so important when you're choosing your coffee. And it's shade grown. It's grown the way coffee is supposed to be, not the way the big coffee companies have decided to grow it. That leads to a lot of pesticides and a lot of problems. It's just not good. But this company does it right. Go to soulyrested.com/coffee to find out all my favorites, or just go to jporganiccoffee.com. Whatever you do, make sure you use code SOULYRESTED, SOULYRESTED, and save on every order. It's great coffee, guys. Go check it out. Okay, so we're going to go over 5 thoughts, 5 simple ways we can keep Christmas meaningful this year. And I kept the list short on purpose because, hey, if we want to keep things simple, we need to have a simple way to do it, right? So stick with me to the end because I'm also going to explain at the end a way that you can have some extra chances to win something really awesome. So stick with me. So this year, the first thing that I want to think about is being intentional with my gift giving. I started this last year, but I really am trying to hone down and do an even better job this year. I think it takes, at least for me, many attempts at something to really kind of tweak it and get it the way that it works for me. So I'm assuming it's going to be quite a few more years that I'm still working on this because I'm trying to change my gift giving mentality. And it doesn't mean that it's not still going to be fun and exciting. It doesn't even mean that necessarily the recipients will notice a difference, but it means that I'm being more intentional. I'm not spending willy-nilly on things that may or may not even be used. Instead, I'm really trying to gift with a purpose this year. Now, let me tell you what that looks like for me. I'm trying to gift things that have one of a few different purposes for the recipient. Either something healthy that's going to improve their overall health, or something that's going to encourage hobbies and togetherness and time with folks they really love. And whichever category it falls in, and maybe it even will fall in both categories, some of the gifts that I give, in the end, my end game more than anything is to let this person know how much they mean to me. And it dawned on me giving, even if it's a high priced item, giving an item that isn't truly fitting into one of those two categories often doesn't really show them that they're important to me, if that makes sense. Like it could be a $200 sweater, but it's just one of a pile of clothes that they received. And it's really not a big deal, if that makes sense. But I really want the gifts I give to either help with health and wellness or encourage hobbies and or togetherness with folks they love. So that's what I'm working towards. And my gift guide that I put together this year reflects exactly that. I've added a lot to it since last year. It covers more categories. I added kids and grandkids on there, and I'm showing you some of the things I'm giving my grandchildren. And it covers everything for all the special people in your life that fall into all different kind of categories. There's even stocking stuffers. And maybe best of all, there's a whole list of homemade gifts, like genuinely unique, really intriguing homemade gifts that will truly be loved. I'm not talking about a jar of jam, guys. I'm not. So I would love for you to go check this out because I'm hoping that it inspires you, and I'm hoping we can start a trend of really gifting with a purpose. So check it out at soulyrested.com/holiday, HOLIDAY. And I really hope that a few things on there really spark your creativity in this area. And even if there's nothing on there that you actually decide to go ahead and purchase, I hope that it will give you some inspiration to truly um, give differently this year in a really special way. So that's number one on my list. And when you're there, scroll to the very bottom because I am gifting something to you guys. I wanted to make it extra special this year and I just wanted to give back. So at the very bottom of my gift guide, you're going to find a special surprise. I'm gifting a grain mill. Maybe I should have started the whole episode telling you that. Hopefully you've stuck with me and you don't miss this announcement. I'm gifting away a grain mill. If you go to the bottom of soulyrested.com/holiday, just scroll to the very bottom. There is a place there to enter to win a grain mill. So stick with me to the end and I'll tell you even more about that. Okay, number 2. So first of all is being intentional with my gift giving. Second of all, I really want to keep it fun this year. This has been something I've really been working on actually for 5 or 6 years now. Especially as the kids get older, it's a little hard for me to keep it fun. Now all my kids are adults and I don't think the grandkids will be with me on actual Christmas this year. When there's grandkids, it's never trouble keeping it fun, right? But honestly, I'm not even just talking about the day. I'm really talking about starting now and the preparations for the holiday and really keeping it fun, keeping my attitude correct. And this might sound totally silly, but the number one way that I have found, and I hope this tip helps you to keep it fun, is really fun holiday music. I don't mean Spotify, which maybe that'll work for you. That's cool. But for me, the antiquated, um, retro feeling of using my record player, I don't know. It just makes it so much fun. And we even talk every single year about how different music is now that we don't have records that we use every day and how different it was when we did use records. And we reminisce often about my parents because most of these records that I own belong to my parents. In fact, most of them I remember as a kid growing up. So I always have stories to tell about the different records. It's just a really simple way to keep it fun. But whatever kind of music for the holidays your family loves the most, try to always turn it on and have it playing in the background. And I don't know, if you have a record player, pull it out, give it a try, see what you think. Lots of other things you can do though. Obviously, an Advent wreath and an Advent calendar definitely keep things fun because every single day there's a new, for us, we would, every time we lit the Advent candle, when the girls were living with us. Bill and I haven't done this for years because it's just been us most of the time, but maybe we should. I'd have a ring. What do you call those things? Paper chains. I'd have a paper chain that I made, and every ring on the paper chain was another Bible verse that related to the Christmas story, and they kind of went in order. So whenever we lit the candle at dinner time, it would be the next person's turn. We'd go around and take turns to take off the link that counted down to Christmas and read the Bible verse. And it seems really simplistic, and it is. But not only did it keep us focused on the Christmas story, but it was just something to look forward to at dinner time. It was just fun for all of us. But of course, an advent calendar is super fun too. If there's a little trinket inside every day for somebody, or for you could either put one thing. That's what we used to do, and we would alternate whose turn it was. But you could also put enough for every kid or every person in the family. Just something very simple, little mint or a quarter or whatever in the advent calendar. Um, Family game night. That is something that I'm really going to do more of this year. And it's something that we kind of talk about, but don't actually do. I'm going to be intentional. Like when you're busy with the holidays, you're busy with, oh, I'm behind on decorating. Oh, I'm behind on Christmas shopping. Oh, I'm behind on wrapping. You don't take time to just sit down as a family and play some games. And it's crazy for us because we are a huge game family. We love playing games. But the time of year that it's kind of the most important to get together and relax together is when we seem to do it the least. So I'm going to be intentional. By the way, if you would like to know some of our favorite games, guys, I've been collecting a list for a decade. And it's not just a bunch of lists of names of games and links. It is explaining to you why our family likes each game, because that's really important to me when I'm choosing a game. Like, what about it would I really like as a family? And there's all different reasons we love all these different games. I have a whole slew of that. So if you'd like to have some inspiration to make sure you have some family time this holiday season and you want to grab some games like right now, not as a Christmas present, but just grab them now to have on hand, or maybe you want some Christmas presents. The link to my whole slew, my whole list of family games we love is right. I think it's right near the top. It's on my list of my gift guide. So soulyrested.com/holiday and look for the gift or the game link. You'll find it. It's there. Oh, something else that I'm going to try to do this year is more like fun early PJ nights. And that might mean hopping in the car in our PJs with some hot chocolate or some warm tea and driving around to look at lights, or just driving around to look at the stars for 10 minutes. Or it might mean before dinner, we all get our PJs on, we get comfy, and then we sit in front of the fire and either play a game or watch a Christmas movie or something. But early PJs just is cozy. It gets dark here in New England at 4:30 this time of year. And to get PJs on and super comfy at 4:30 and all just be comfy together, that's awesome. Even if we're working on decorating the Christmas tree or something, maybe I'll suggest, hey, let's all get comfy, get our PJs on. It seems silly, but it's a way to keep things fun. It really is for me. And I think my final thing before moving on, as far as keeping it fun, I need to remind myself I am never going to be Martha Stewart, and I need to stop trying to be Martha Stewart. And I really don't need to care that every ornament's in the right place on the Christmas tree. And I really don't need to care if the mantle is perfect and everything is exactly in the right space. Like, I can get over it. I can stop being Martha Stewart, trying to be Martha Stewart, and just have fun. Okay. Also, guys, I love sugar. We go to a lot of trouble to make our own all natural sugar because we don't want it bleached or highly processed. But what if I told you there was an organic, all natural way to sweeten your tea with 0 calories? You do need to be using loose leaf, but you really should ditch the bleached tea bags anyway if you're still using them. You want to add just a pinch of stevia leaves while it steeps for a few minutes, and your tea is suddenly sweeter. Go to soulyrested.com/teas, TEAS, and find some, along with 8 of my all-time favorite teas that you really should try. That's Souly Rested, SOULY rested.com/TEAS for the best organic stevia leaves and the best teas. So, do you find yourself sacrificing quality in the name of non toxic, especially when it comes to personal care items, beauty products, soaps, lotions, all that good stuff? Well, guys, those days are over because I absolutely love everything that I use from hearthandhomesteadstore.com. Go to soulyrested.com/soap, SOAP, if you'd like to see all my personal favorites. These are items I use on repeat that I would have, not have in my home. And these things, every ingredient is all natural. They are truly legit, clean products that do what they promise. They are such high quality. Go to soulyrested.com/soap. So that's the first two. Number 3, let me look at my list. Repurpose things. I like this one. It really does help you keep things in focus. It helps keep commercialism out of Christmas a little bit. And what do I mean about repurpose? Actually, I have 3 different ideas in mind for how you can repurpose things. First of all, foraging. Where we live, this is super easy. I realize depending on where you live, this might not be super easy, but most people have access to a park, right? With some evergreen trees, some deciduous trees. And of course, you can't go in there and, take down 12 branches or a whole tree or something, but often you'll find things on the ground, or maybe you can just take one or two branches off of something. Or maybe you have some fields that you can drive to, or maybe you live in the country like us and this is super easy. But I love collecting branches that have berries on them. Love that. Pine cones, just plain old twigs, depending on the kind of tree or shrub. Some twigs are gorgeous in color, and definitely vines. Actually, for me, I can find a lot of vines in the woods that are like trash vines. I'm not talking beautiful grapevines on trellises. I'm just talking any kind of vine. You can use them to make wreaths. And that's always super fun to have a night that we all find some vines in the woods, sit down in front of the fire and wrap a wreath for ourselves. And then we all decide where we want to hang this twig wreath, whether it's on our bedroom door or in the hallway or whatever. Um, and you can also put some of these things like tuck them in swags, tuck them in wreaths, put them in your Advent wreath. Um, if it's artificial, you can just tuck them in. If it's real, if like you have a real evergreen wreath, you can even like hot glue things on to keep them on if you find some berries or some pine cones, but totally free. And gorgeous. It just makes for gorgeous decorations. In fact, in the show notes, I will leave an article I wrote years ago with lots of pictures about a farmhouse Christmas and a lot of decorations that we do that are what I'm talking about right now. But also, if you have, I already said this, I think, if you have like an artificial wreath, tucking in some real pieces of evergreen and some real pine cones can really make that artificial wreath look real or look really pretty. But it's not all about the way the house looks. Honestly, the reason I recommend foraging is the experience of doing it with your kids. Seriously, my best holiday memories over the past decade with my teen daughters is foraging. I'm not kidding. The absolute best memory is getting on our gloves and our hats, finding a wagon, heading out to the woods, gathering up stuff, and then the excitement when we get back, we will lay out big old quilts and sheets on the floor so it kind of collects all the pine needles and branches that break. So it's not quite as messy to clean up when we're done. And then we sit on top of those old quilts and just create until our heart is content. Get out the glue gun if I need it. And it's just my best memories. And truly the scouring in the woods is probably the best part of it for me. I don't know, sit in front of the fire is pretty nice too for hours. And when you're doing this, when you're crafting together, you're talking. You have music playing in the background and you're just talking. You can't even be on your phone because your hands are busy. And the TV is not in the same room. I make sure of that. And we just talk. It's wonderful. I love it. It's my favorite part of Christmas. Highly recommend. Highly. But that's not the only way to repurpose things. You also could thrift things. And I don't mean going and buying the really cheesy, half broken Christmas decorations at the thrift store or the Goodwill. I mean, look for pieces that remind you of the holidays and figure out a way to incorporate them into your decorating. Could be small items that maybe you could tie onto wreaths or even use as Christmas ornaments like mugs or even silverware sometimes. All kinds of things that you could find. And you could use like serving trays or wooden boxes, and they could become either a centerpiece on your one of your end tables or your coffee table, or they could become a base for a small tree or some other decoration. So it could be something that doesn't even look Christmassy, but it could be gorgeous as a Christmas decoration in your home. And also the third way you can repurpose, go to your attic. If your attic is at all like my attic, you might be shocked at some of the things that you realize you can pull out, things that are in boxes that'll never be used because they're heirlooms or whatever, that are perfect for pulling out and using for Christmas decorations. I have a red trimmed enamel tray that's not Christmas at all. It was my grandmother's. And in the center is like a market scene. But because of this wide red trim all around it, I can put things in the center of it, like pine cones and evergreen and candles, and it looks gorgeous. And it's so special to me because I'm using my grandmother's tray that otherwise would be sitting in my attic. So things like that, look around and see what you can find. You can always fill things with pine cones and evergreen branches and make them look totally Christmas and amazing. And maybe you can even find something from your youth that you haven't had out of the box in a decade. Or I'm sorry, from your child's youth would be the decade, or maybe from your youth that you haven't had out of a box in 40 years, but something that you just go, oh, this was special to me. And you know what? I could use this way to decorate this year. So have fun with it. Go see what you can find and reach out to me and tell me because I want to hear your stories of what you find and how you use it. It might become a new tradition for you. All right, so that's 3 things. 4 on my list. Keep the tree simple. Now, once in a while, I know that I would never do this every year because there are certain things that it's really fun to bring out and remember every single year, certain things you did, certain ornaments, certain milestones for the kids, right? But if you've done that for 10 or 15 years, it's kind of not as special anymore. And the kids don't want to hear the same story this year that they hear every year when you pull out that certain ornament, right? Like if you take a break for a year or two from all that traditional stuff, it could be really, really special when you bring it back out a few years from now. But better than that, what you do this year instead could be the most memorable Christmas ever. I say that because it happened for us. One year, a daughter simply wanted a Charlie Brown tree. She told me she had wanted one ever since we moved here, and we had lived here 5 or 6 years. And I hesitated. Looking back, I'm mad at myself that I hesitated, but I'm like, well, it won't hold any ornaments. And then we can't bring all of our stuff down from the attic and go. It's always fun to decorate the tree. And then I realized, wait a minute, what am I doing? My child just told me, well, I mean, she was a teenager, but my daughter just told me this is something she's wanted to do for 5 years. And I'm trying to convince her to not do it. This is a memory maker right here. Why on earth am I fighting it? So I instantly changed my tune. I said, okay, let's go find one. And the one she picked out, I hated, but her sister liked it. And the 3 of us were the ones in charge. So we brought home a tree that I absolutely hated. I wouldn't call it a tree. I'd call it kind of almost a weed of a tree. But it turned out really pretty. In fact, if you go look at my article about farmhouse Christmas decorating, you'll see the tree I'm talking about. And to this day, I think it might be my favorite tree we've ever had. So it was nice to not pull out all the standard things. It was nice to do something totally different and see if together as a team, the 3 of us could make this Charlie Brown ridiculous stubby thing look nice. And in the end, I think we did. And whether we did or we didn't, forget Martha Stewart, right? We had fun and we had quality time. So I'm not saying you have to use a Charlie Brown tree this year, but maybe consider doing something different. Maybe make it an all natural decoration tree this year. And that's what you guys focus on is working together to make your decorations this year. And that's how you spend your time. And maybe you can make ones that you can keep. And every 5 or 6 years you can alternate. And instead of your regular tree, have this all natural one. Like, pine cones and oranges. You can bake oranges. And you can make a garland out of popcorn, of course. And we like to use birch tree bark. I know it sounds weird, and I know you might not have this accessible to you, but we have a lot of birch in our woods. And you can pull birch bark off of the tree really easily. We also burn a lot of birch for heating our home. So we have those logs we can access to. And you can just pull it off, separate it into strips, and believe it or not, if you pull it into a thin layer, has lots of layers. You pull just the top layer off that's pretty. You can use a stapler to staple it on. So I've made a lot of birch bark garlands over the years, and they're so, so pretty. But I'm sure there's something that you'll think of that's unique to you that's really cool. Just give it a try. Try and keep the tree simple. Also, lots of twinkle lights make any tree good, right? I mean, lots of twinkle lights anywhere make things really nice. In fact, that's another way to keep things super simple and fun at the same time. Hang a bunch of twinkle lights. If you don't have a bunch, then tell yourself you're going to do this next year. And at the after holiday sale, when they're 75% off, buy a dozen strands of twinkle lights, and next year, put them everywhere. Put them in your bathroom, put them in the hallway leading to the bedrooms. Just hang them up. Use thumbtacks. Don't worry about the tiny little holes your thumbtacks are going to make. You'll never see them. Hang a bunch of lights. It's fun. And it keeps it simple too. And let's see, we have just one more, right? I'm down to number 5. Make things with the kids, which is kind of what I was just talking about with the tree, isn't it? But take time to do it. And I know I'm going to stop right here and tell you it takes time. It takes a lot of time, especially if you have young kids. But I mean, the name of this show is Simple Doesn't Mean Easy, right? It's just true. Having a simple Christmas does not mean it's going to be easy. What it does mean is because it's going to take time to do these simple things and crafts and foraging and all that with your kids, you're not going to have time for all the commercialism. And that's a good thing. Let that go this year. It's okay. Maybe you even need to warn some family. It's not going to be a commercial year this year. I'm going to take a break, spend more time with the kids. It's okay. Nobody is ever going to tell you, oh, well, I want to get presents from you and I want you to make sure you go shopping for me. No, everybody's going to be like, cool, and they're going to say, maybe I'll do that too. Maybe you'll inspire them. But it's okay that it takes longer to make things with the kids. It's all good in the end. And like with the wreaths that we forage, the same daughter that had longed for the Charlie Brown tree, she told me that year that we went out and spent hours foraging the first time we had done it, before we went out, she told me she remembered watching me make grapevine wreaths when she was little. And back then, I actually did it in the fall. I didn't do it as a Christmas decoration. We had a grapevine that grew on our fence in our backyard, and they had I was going to say a tree house, but it wasn't in the tree. It was under a tree. Playhouse, maybe I should call it. And I don't know why, but many years in a row, I pulled off this grapevine, and instead of tossing it into the woods, I just kind of for fun wrapped it, made a wreath, and hung it in different places in their playhouse. I never knew it was something that they even loved or were impressed with. But Kayla told me she watched me every year do that. And she literally thought I had superpowers. She thought it was truly one of the coolest things she ever saw me do as a mom as she was growing up. I'm like, are you kidding me? I had no idea. So I'm a superhero, guys, because I can take dead vines and wrap them into a circle. But imagine that's just one example out of 100 things that it could be for your kids. But seeing you do it and then realizing, oh, they can come alongside you and they can do it with you and they can learn to do this. They become a superhero too, right? So it's cool. It's all good. Some other things, you don't have to make grapevine wreaths. Salt dough ornaments are a treasure in our family. We have made them many years. We label them on the back with a Sharpie every year. And some of them are really, really special. We have made some years to commemorate some really meaningful things for our family. And I love that. And they keep really well. Just make sure that you spray them with a sealer when you're done. I guess that probably keeps the bugs away. But also I always store them. I put paper, what do you call it? Oh my, wrap. Tissue paper. That's what it's called. I put tissue paper. I try to use just white because I don't want the color to possibly fade if it gets hot or sticky. I put white tissue paper between each ornament. So it can be like a zigzag. You can use one piece of paper for 10 ornaments, but I'll zigzag the paper around the ornaments so they're not together. They're a little apart. And then I will always store them in a box with a seal, like a Rubbermaid box that has a true seal around the lid. And maybe it's not that important for you because maybe you live in a regular house with a regular basement and it's going to be fine. But in our barn, I'm afraid rodents would get to it if I didn't go to this effort. So I do go to this effort every year, but it's pretty simple. And they've kept for 30 years, some of the salt dough ornaments that I made when the first time I made it was when my daughter was her first Christmas. And I made some with her name and birth date on it. And we still have them perfectly great. So consider making some salt dough ornaments. I will put the recipe for that. It might be in the same article as the decorations. If it's not, I'll put a separate link in the show notes so you have my recipe for making salt dough ornaments too. make countdown links. That's super easy for even a toddler to help you make a countdown link. And they get so excited about that, right? And it could even be as simple as making punch. Throw out the window the idea that it has to be a healthy punch. It's okay. It's really okay to have junk every once in a while and just enjoy it. Just use sherbet and ginger ale, my kids' favorite. Like, we probably make that once every other year on some special party or occasion. So they get it so infrequently that it's like a treasure. Even now as they're adults, it's like, whoa, we're having punch. So make some punch with the kids. Make some cookies, right? And one last thing I'm going to tell you that's fun to make. I have a garland that we hang sometimes over the tree or in different places over doorways that spells out a holiday saying. It could be anything. It could be Merry Christmas. It could be Happy Holidays. Ours says, "Come, let us adore him." It could be a line from a poem or any song or hymn that you treasure this time of year that's important to you. And we made it really easily. We bought, I think it's called interfacing, self-adhesive interfacing, I think, that you can buy at a craft store. And it's like the thickness of cardboard and one side is sticky, but it's not cardboard material. It's like a batting material that you put in quilts kind of. We bought a big sheet of that and we bought a big piece of burlap. And then you stick the burlap to the self-adhesive interfacing and trace letters. Cut out the letters, use a hole punch to just put a hole in each letter, and then use twine to string them all so they spell out your saying. It's so simple. It took us not even half of an evening, and we use it every year. And it's just so simplistic, but yet it focuses your mind where it should be this time of year as soon as you walk in the room. Come let us adore him. Oh yeah, it's not all about, do I have all the Christmas presents wrapped? It's about focusing on Christ. So it's just a simple way to have a pretty decoration and kind of keep things a little more focused for me. So that's it. That's my 5 tips. Let's go through them in reverse order. Let's count them down. Make things with the kids. Keep the tree simple. Repurpose things. Keep it fun. And be intentional with your gift giving. Make sure you go check out that guide to get some inspiration, soulyrested.com/holiday. And I promised you I'd tell you something else. Not only when you go to the bottom of the holiday guide can you enter to win a grain mill. If you follow me on Instagram, you can hop over there and you can enter there as well. And there's lots of ways to get extra entries as well. So don't just enter once on the holiday gift guide. Hop over. There's going to be a link there for you to hop over to Instagram and do anything else you'd like for extra chances at this grain mill, because I'm so excited to be giving away a grain mill. I really, really am. Like, guys, whoever wins this, just think of the fun holiday cookies you'll be making. So a winner will be announced December 10th. So you have plenty of time if you're listening to this soon after it released to go enter. And you might be the recipient of an awesome grain mill this Christmas. So that is it for today, guys. I'm so glad that you guys are here. Truly, I couldn't do what I do without you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope you're inspired to really be intentional and keep things simple this holiday season, so that truly is the most special, treasured holiday season you have ever experienced. That's my hope for you. And remember, it's easy to forget how blessed we are to live this life. So enjoy the simple, everyday efforts, especially around the holidays. It's not easy, but it's a good life.